Okay, today we are dealing with what I've called Back to Sender. And we start with a song from my mother tongue, Setana to Obo to Ubo Kanubo, Setana Nagis Nos Yumbo, Obo Kanimo. When Satan throws a punch and then God returns the favor, then Satan lies on the floor and screams, I've been defeated. Okay, now there are very interesting passages about, the theme that we're dealing with, which is back to sender. If you look at Proverbs 26, verse 27, he who digs a pit will fall into it, and he who throws a stone will have it rolled back to him like a boomerang. You know. Psalm 7, verse 15, he made a pit and digged it, and it's fallen into the ditch which he made. His mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealing shall come down upon his own pate. Now, if you look at particularly the Psalms, you are going to see a lot of these kinds of sentiments being expressed. And of course, don't forget David, wrote a number of the Psalms, and they actually reflect some of his experiences. David was someone that had a lot of challenges, including his own son rising up against him, incest in the family, even children, murdering, killing each other, you know, fleeing from his own son that wanted to take over the throne by force. So a lot of those sentiments were because of some of the challenges that he was passing through. And so basically you see a lot of this, like we said, recorded in the Psalms. Because he who wears the shoes actually feels the pinch. And I think that's why somebody remarked that if you've not seen issues yet, that's when you're still praying in English. When the issues arise, you revert to your mother tongue. Oh, what do you do? Forget them. Pardon my Swahili. But I know that people also have a lot of issues about some of these fire prayers, where there are people feeling that it is not, in consonance with the New Testament, where you have a lot of emphasis on love, but God is still a God of judgment. And if people have been wronged, for instance, if what I'm deserving of have been passed over for what I'm deserving, what is wrong with praying fire prayers? I don't know why people are worried about this. And for the record, it has nothing to do with witchcraft. But those of us that are believers, anyone that is a believer, you pray your fire prayers to God. It is God that answers those prayers. And that's why I put there Psalm 65, verse 2. Oh, you that hears prayers, unto you shall all flesh come. God responds to the yearnings of our heart. If I feel aggrieved, I can take my cry to God and tell God, God, I want you to show your power in this particular instance. I don't like what has happened. You know, and that's why I'm using King James Version, because these are very serious issues. I know people criticize, these issues of fire prayers and back to sender. But if you are not the one committing the wrong, why are you worried? Let God sort out the issues. He knows he is the fairest judge that we can ever have.